Hi friends, what is up and welcome back to my channel. So I thought for today's video we would sit down and play with some new makeup products. One of the products I'm really excited to play with is the new Blend Bunny Sugar and Grunge palette. I also want to tap into the new Made by Mitchell color cases. I also have some other new products to use in today's video, so grab a snack, grab something to drink, and let's go ahead and dive in. Blend Bunny is a brand that has a beautiful eyeshadow formula. If you haven't tried their palettes, I highly recommend them. The mattes literally blend themselves, and there's not a lot of brands where I feel like the mattes blend themselves. I have a top 3 when it comes to eyeshadow formulas, and Blend Bunny is definitely in that top 3. Blend Bunny shipping has the fastest shipping. Literally, the day you place your order, it'll literally ship out that day. It's like they're trying to break a record or something. That's how fast their shipping is. But this is the newest palette in the Blend Bunny line. This is the Sugar and Grunge palette. 24 shades for the 90s sweetheart. And this is the color story. It looks very different, but it's really cute. If you are not new to Blend Bunny, you're probably noticing that this palette, it looks a little bit different, you know? So usually Blend Bunny does their palettes where each columns is basically a look in itself. But with this palette, she decided to mix up the shimmers. So usually when it comes to Blend Bunny, this green would be in the green row, this, you know, burgundy would be in the burgundy row, the purple would be with the purple. And a lot of people did not like that. Me? I love a good mix-up. I love a good change. As long as the formula is the same, I don't care. Even though the palette is laid out a certain way, doesn't mean you have to use it that way. So if you wanted to use this purple shimmer with the purple matte, you can. I felt like this palette was the perfect palette to tap into and to play around with the color case, because this is a grayscale color case and we have a row of grays here. I'm gonna start off with the shade Moody. And one thing I have noticed is that this palette does have a mirror. She hasn't been putting mirrors in her palettes. I love Blend Bunny's mattes. They literally are so effortless and so seamless, and they truly blend themselves. I also love using Blend Bunny's mattes because I love to just take one of the shades in the crease and then pop a shade on the lid, and I feel like my look is so complete. Like I took a lot of time on it when really I didn't. Take some of Baby Tea. I love the different tones of purple we have in this palette because, ooh, whoa. Oh, that's very like pastel. It's not the shade I was looking for. No, that's not what I want. I'm gonna take the shade Detention. Okay, yeah, Detention is what I wanted. I didn't want this like pastel shade. I wanted like the next step up, and it literally was right here in the palette for me, but I just completely missed that. I'm gonna take some of Combat Boots, which kind of looks like a black, but it's not really a black, or maybe it is a gray tone black. But I'm just gonna place this in the outer corner just to add a little bit more depth to this look. I want to go in with the Made by Mitchell color case. This is the grayscaled color case. I think this will be perfect for the gray tones in this palette because I do want to use the grays on the lid. I'm going to do like an all matte look. Color cases do come with a brush, which I love. So I'll just take this shade called Foggy. And basically the color cases is one of those products where it is a cream. It is a cream that dries down to a matte, so it does set itself. But to activate the formula and make it that soft cream, you have to place it on the back of your hand or like a palette of some sort. And then once you do, it turns into this really beautiful creamy consistency to where it's easy for you to apply it. I'm going to basically cut the crease. Wow, very gray. Look at how easy and smooth that just glided on. You wouldn't think that a solid type of looking formula like this would turn out to be a really beautiful creamy consistency, but it really is. I don't even have to go on with a gray shadow because it literally just did the work for me. Literally just did the work. I'm gonna take this shade called Payphone, and I'm gonna use that to set it, even though you don't need a matte to set it because it will dry down to a soft matte. Love that there's this lighter toned gray in this palette because it just makes this look pop even more. Now I'm just gonna go back into that shade Combat Boots and just go over the outer corner just to help it blend together. All right, so the eye look is basically done. I never would have thought to pair purple and gray together, but I did. And I think it looks pretty cute. So let's go ahead and move on to the face. I have the new e.l.f. Invisible Sunscreen. I have been trying this out and I really like it. I like this more than the glowy. If you have combo oily skin, you're gonna love this. It kind of feels like a soft matte primer. That's exactly how it feels, and I feel like a little bit of this goes a very long way. It also kind of acts as if it's a blurring primer, but I have really been loving it. It also doesn't have an overly sunscreeny kind of smell. Now we have two different ones to choose from, whether you like that glowy finish or you like that soft matte blurring finish. I feel like my skin is smooth, and honestly, I don't even really need to go in with a primer, but I will because I want to use this again. This is the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. And I am so happy that they came out with this primer because it is so good. I feel like it creates a smooth base for makeup application, and I really love it. I've said this in a previous video, but I just feel like this version applies so much more easily than the one that comes in the pot. I felt like the one in the pot just was really hard to blend and you really had to work it into the skin. It was just a lot of work, which made me not want to reach for it. But I've been reaching for this one a lot because it's so much easier to apply. I am going to go in with the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Tint. I just posted my wear test of this product. If you're curious about this, head over to that video to check it out. I'm really happy that I picked it up to try because it is such a beautiful performing skin tint, and it does last a pretty long time to say that it is a skin tint. So I have mine in the shade 13. Yes, I am using my fingers. I found that using the fingers is the better option for me. I saw some comments saying you do not like to use your fingers, which I get it, trust me. I do not like to use my fingers either, but that's what helps this product work the best, so I'm gonna just use my fingers. I feel like getting it on with the fingers to start is the better option, and then I'll go in with a brush to kind of help, you know, stipple it into the skin. So that is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take my Morphe E63 brush. I love this brush. All blended in, everything looks good. I don't have a new concealer to try, so I'm just gonna go in with my e.l.f. Camo Concealer. This is the matte finish one, and I have mine in the shade Deep Chestnut. Of course, you know I have new blushes in this video, so Moira just came out with new liquid blushes. These are their Love Steady liquid blushes. I can't remember what video I had it in, but I did say I was testing out a new blush. It wasn't revealed yet, so now that they revealed it, I can talk about these. But affordable liquid blushes, absolutely. And there's so many different shades to choose from. They come in two different finishes, matte and radiant. And I believe these are like $7.50 each. I don't know the exact price, but I'll have it on the screen for you. But I enjoyed these when I used it. This was the shade I used the other day and I really loved it. It's the shade Biggest Fan. And it's so beautiful. It has a really big doe foot. And I can't remember what finish this one is. Just look at how beautifully this blends into the skin, and you definitely can build it up as well. I think this is the one with the radiant finish. I love the fact that this is a buildable blush formula, so that is nice. Look at how pretty this shade is. It's so stunning, and I think this goes perfectly with this eye look. And Moira has been coming out with a lot of staple products that I have truly been loving, so I definitely would check these out if you love liquid blushes and you want an affordable option. I have this setting powder. This is not a new setting powder on the market, but it is new to me. It's from LA Girl. This is the LA Girl setting powder. I picked this up on Juicy Jazz's recommendation, and I want to try this out today. It comes with a cute little powder puff, but I'm not going to use that. I do not want any creases. Oh, you know what? This setting powder, no, this setting powder has a sheen. It has like little particles in it. It kind of reminds me of the Hourglass setting powder, and I do not like the Hourglass setting powder. The only reason why I don't like setting powders that have like that sheen, that mica sheen to it, is because it emphasizes texture. So if you have texture under your eyes, it will emphasize that texture. I feel like it kind of did that to me, but for continuity's sake, I'm gonna just go ahead and go in on the other side to set, but I am not the biggest fan of setting powders that have luminosity to them. If you don't mind setting powders to have that kind of like luminosity to it, then you might like this one. But for me, when it comes to setting powders that have a little bit of luminosity, I don't like it, especially under the eyes, because it really does emphasize texture, and that's not something that I personally want. I'm just gonna grab a powder blush because I want to set this cream blush because this is the radiant one and I don't want to just leave it radiant like this. I'm just going to take some of my Patrick Ta blush. This is in the shade Oh She's Different, and I'm just going to lightly set over this blush here. I need to fix this a little bit, so I'm just going to go in with my Revlon Blot Stay Matte setting powder. I feel like it looks a little bit better now that I've added a setting powder that I actually like. For bronzer, I don't have a new bronzer, so I'm just gonna go in with my Jaclyn Cosmetics bronzer in the shade Poolside, my favorite. I feel like now we are back on track with the makeup and everything is looking really good so far. To finish up the eye look, this liner from Made by Mitchell in the shade Wonderful World. I'm just gonna take the purple shade, Moody, and put this on the lower lash line. So I'm not gonna do anything too dramatic. I just wanna bring that purple back into the look. So for lip liner, I'm just gonna go in with my Makeup by Mario lip liner in the shade Jeff. I have these newly reformulated ultra glossy lips from ColourPop. I think for today's look, I feel like this will go really well. I don't know if any of these would go well with this, but you know, I think I really wanna try this one. I wanna try this one out. This is called It Girl, and it's so pretty. Ooh, I like this shade. Oh, they smell so good, and I love how glossy these are. They're so glossy. Love these. I love these newly reformulated glosses. I did not like any gloss formula from ColourPop except the So Juicy glosses, but I love these. These are beautiful and really glossy. So let's get into the newer products that I tried. Starting off with the new Blend Bunny Sugar and Grunge palette. Once again, Blend Bunny's formula never ceases to amaze me. I love the formula of the mattes and everything just blends so easily. I think that this is a very different color story. Definitely not a color story that I would usually gravitate to, but because it is Blend Bunny, I feel like I'm gonna want to because it is so different than what I usually go for. I would never have paired gray and purple together. This is not an eye look I would have done on the regular if I wasn't just playing around with shades and wanting to use the Made by Mitchell color case. I cannot wait to see what other looks that I create that are not typical colors that I would pair together. Once again, I still love Blend Bunny. I love that we have a mirror in this palette because it's great for travel. This is such a beautiful, beautiful 90s themed palette. It's so stunning. Well, the Made by Mitchell color case is definitely the definition of out of my comfort zone. As I was playing with this, I thought that the Glamlight and Chucky palette would be a great palette to use with this, but I think this is a great palette for a smoky eye of some sort. I only used one shade in here, but I am gonna create some more looks with just this color case, and I'll post like a YouTube short, or I'll post on my TikTok using just this color case to see what kind of looks I can get out of it. But so far, I can pinpoint in my head what palettes I would use to create an eye look with this product. In the e.l.f. Invisible Sunscreen, I have really been loving this. I've been using this ever since this package landed on my doorstep. I've been reaching for this one way more than the glowy because we are at that point of the summer where my oily skin comes to play. I have to tone down some of the glowy products that I use, and a glowy sunscreen as the starting point for my base of my makeup was just not vibing with my oily skin. So now that I have this, I have been having better makeup days and my makeup has been lasting longer without having that glowiness, you know, coming through with the oils. The danessa skin tint, definitely a favorite. I love it. I don't have many skin tints in my collection because I'm a very picky person when it comes to skin tints, and this one and the Too Faced Healthy Glow, I have two go-to skin tints now. I don't even have to worry about going in with a full coverage foundation because I have two solid, good skin tints that will make my makeup last longer, and I also can use them with a full glam of makeup. Like today, I feel like this is pretty full glam-esque vibes, and the skin tint is definitely holding up with the overall look. So I really love it. Poreless Putty Primer, you already know my thoughts on this. I absolutely love this primer. It's so good and I cannot stop reaching for it. So that says a lot. I already know when I finish this is a product I will repurchase. Now the LA Girl Pro Powder, I did not like this. I do not like shimmery setting powders. I feel like they really do emphasize texture under my eyes, and I don't want that. I want my under eyes to be as smooth as they possibly can be, and I just was not expecting that. This doesn't even say that it's a luminous powder, but the first ingredient in here is mica, so I should have known that it was gonna have some type of shine to it or sparkle or whatever. This definitely reminds me of the Hourglass setting powder, so if you love that one and you want an affordable option, I would try this one out. But for me, this is definitely something I will not pick up because I do not like shimmery under eyes and shimmery powders. I just don't. That's just me. Now, the ColourPop Ultra Glossy Lips, I did not know what to expect with these when I first picked them up, but wow, have they really, really, really stood out. I'm a gloss girl. We know this. I love glosses. I'm very picky when it comes to glosses. My gloss needs to give me ultra shine, but not be sticky. I also would prefer them to be long lasting, but I understand if they're not. But this one, I loved it so much the first time I tried it that it made me go back and buy more shades. So that is how you know you really like a product, and I love this one. This one is definitely a dupe for Fenty Glow, and I love it. I love how shiny my lips look. I know ColourPop has a lot of glosses, and a lot of them I did not like. This was a formula I did not like, but something about it now, the reformulated version of this is really good. I love the new packaging. I love that the doe foot is not like that brush because I hated that brush doe foot. But this, absolutely a win for me. Just look at how glossy my lips look. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll definitely catch you guys in my next one. Bye guys.